There's an appliance in your home right now that starts thousands of house fires every single year. It's not your stove. It's not a space heater. It's not some faulty wire in the wall. It's your clothes dryer, the machine you toss your towels into and walk away from, the one running right now maybe while you watch this. And here's the part that gets me. The thing that causes most of these fires isn't a defect. It's not bad luck. It's something soft, fluffy, and completely harmless looking. Lint. I've cleaned out a lot of dryer vents over the years, and when I pull that hose off the back of a dryer that's never been serviced, what comes out looks like a gray sweater's worth of packed compressed fuzz. Sometimes I pull out handfuls, sometimes it just keeps coming. And every single one of those homeowners says the same thing. I clean the lint screen every time. The screen. That's the trap. Let me explain why that little screen is giving you a false sense of security. Here's how your dryer actually works. It tumbles your clothes in hot air and all that moisture has to go somewhere. So the dryer pushes hot, wet air out through a duct, usually a big tube behind the machine that runs through your wall to a vent outside. Now, every load of laundry sheds tiny fibers. That's what lint is. Little pieces of your towels, your jeans, your socks breaking off in the heat. The lint screen catches some of it, maybe most of it, but not all of it. The rest rides that hot, wet air into the duct behind your dryer, and some of it never makes it outside. It sticks to the walls of the duct, especially anywhere the tube bends, sags, or gets crushed against the wall. Layer by layer, load after load, year after year. Now think about what lint actually is. It's dry, shredded fabric fiber. It's basically the same stuff people use to start campfires. Seriously, campers save dryer lint on purpose because it catches fire so easily. So let's recap. You've got the most flammable material in your house, slowly packing itself into a tube attached to a machine whose entire job is producing heat. That's the fire risk, and it's not rare and it's not exaggerated. Clogged dryer vents are one of the leading causes of house fires in America. Thousands of homes every year from fuzz. But let's say the worst never happens. No fire, ever. You're still paying for that clogged vent every single week. Here's how. When the vent clogs up, the wet air can't escape. And if the wet air can't escape, your clothes can't dry. You know this feeling. You run a load, the buzzer goes off, you open the door, and then the towels are still damp. So you run it again, maybe a third time. Every one of those extra cycles is pure wasted electricity. A dryer is one of the hungriest appliances in your whole house. Running it twice to do the job of one cycle means you're paying double to dry the same load of laundry week after week. And there's a third cost hiding in there too. All that trapped heat, all that extra running time, it's cooking your dryer from the inside. The heating element strains, the motor works overtime, machines that should last 15 years die in 7 or 8, and you go buy a new one, never knowing the old one was fine. It was just choking. So one clogged tube is quietly doing 3 things at once, creating a fire risk, doubling your drying costs, and killing your machine early. Now the warning signs, your dryer is actually telling you when the vent is clogging. Most people just don't know the language. Sign 1, clothes take longer than 1 cycle to dry. That's the big one. A healthy dryer dries a normal load in 1 run, period. Sign 2, the dryer is hot to the touch on top, or the laundry room feels like a sauna when it's running. That heat is supposed to be leaving through the vent. If the room's getting hot, the heat's trapped. Sign 3, your clothes come out smelling slightly musty instead of fresh. That's moisture that never left. Sign 4, go outside while the dryer's running and find the vent flap on your outside wall. You should feel strong airflow pushing out, like a hairdryer. If it's a weak puff or nothing, or the flap doesn't even move, your duct is packed. Any of those sound familiar? Then let's fix it. And most of this costs you nothing. First, keep cleaning that lint screen every load. But once a month, take it a step further. Pull the screen out and wash it with soap and water. Here's why. Dryer sheets and fabric softener leave an invisible waxy film on the screen that blocks airflow even when it looks clean. Run water over your screen. If the water pools on top instead of flowing through, that film is there. Scrub it off. Second, this is the big one. Clean the duct itself. Once a year minimum. Unplug the dryer, pull it away from the wall, and disconnect that big tube. Then get in there. A vacuum with a hose attachment works, or a cheap flexible brush kit made exactly for this. Pull out everything, and I mean everything. Do the same from the outside vent, pushing inward. The first time you do this on a neglected dryer, the amount of lint that comes out will genuinely disturb you. Take a photo. You'll want to show someone. Third, while the dryer's pulled out, look at the tube itself. If it's that shiny foil accordion-style hose and it's crushed flat against the wall, that crushing creates exactly the kind of tight bends where lint packs in. Straighten it out, give it room, and if it's old and full of holes, replacing it costs a few bucks at any hardware store. Fourth, after you've cleaned everything, do the airflow test again outside. Strong, steady blast of air? You're done. Your dryer is breathing again. And here's what you'll notice immediately. Loads that took 2 cycles now finish in 1. That's your money coming back, starting with the very next load. So here's what all of this really comes down to. Nobody warned you because there's no money in warning you. The manual mentions it on some page nobody reads. The company that sold you the dryer makes more when it dies early. And lint is so soft, so harmless looking, that it never feels like a threat. But that's the thing about the dangerous stuff in a house. It's almost never dramatic. It's quiet. It builds slowly. It hides inside a tube behind a machine you never move. So tonight, go feel that vent outside while your dryer runs, if the air is barely moving. Now you know exactly what's sitting inside that tube. It's not just costing you money anymore, and you can fix the whole thing this weekend, basically for free.